Mustache here. The latest update is that my chat isn't working. Oh, good lord, my eyes are so red. Uh, good lord, we're gonna have to do something about that. So, yeah, there's no way to talk to anybody. Uh, there's no feedback. This app update is ridiculous. The most ridiculous thing about it is the giant hearts that float across your screen. I'm like, why is that even a thing? Uh, I didn't notice it until I went back and watched some of the stream. I was like, what is that? I get like buttons, but giant hearts floating across. It's very Valentine's Day all the time. So the I don't even know, Lord. We may not need all this light here either. We can kill this one. We're gonna leave this one on. Now it's dark in here, and I'm out of coffee. I should have thought this out better. All right. Well, like and subscribe. These are my wearables. Excuse the fine handwriting ship. So come on through, like and subscribe, both platforms. Um, I don't really know what to do about the chat though, right? I mean, because if the chat can't respond to me, uh, I don't even know. Maybe I have it cut up, present on stream, edit destinations, edit details. Yeah, quite an update. It is quite an update. Um, oh boy. All right, so let's cut on a time clock at least and give us some time. Let's see if we can get this moving. Come on, come on, come on. All right, let's do that. Time as usual. All right, so a couple of things happened that I was thinking about this week. Uh, a Japanese princess who gave up her princessship, I guess. Her and her new husband are leaving Japan to live here in America. Hey, William, you're in. Good to see you. Okay, so my chat is kind of working. I can see you. Um, okay, that's good. I've got some feedback. So she's leaving Japan to come and live here. That'll be the second royal person we have just laying up in the sun in their mansion. We've already got like Saudi Arabians treating this place like it's a hostel for them, like a glorified hotel. How many of these people are just going to be able to just want from other people's governments, mind you? These aren't refugees wandering and look. Some of these places, Japan is full. They don't know where to put people. People are living in closets, right? Um, People want out. I think a lot of places are approaching that, right? The truth to tell, I think England is approaching that, like London, right? If you live in the city, it's hard to live in the place, right? And New York is getting like that. Beijing is like that, right? But China has room to grow, like America has room to grow. A lot of these places don't. Uh, and they get XYZ amount of millionaires, and there's only so many giant houses they can have. So now they're coming here and watch. They'll begin fucking with the politics with their money, right? We got this. Wants to have a kid, he's going to be what, an American citizen and a Japanese prince. Oh my god, this whole place is coming apart. It doesn't make any sense anymore. Uh, that's a good question. Why can't I show stuff? Uh, Edit destinations, present on stream. I guess the present on stream thing is what we're looking for. So I thought that said coming soon. Let's try this. Let's try and present on stream. Good Lord, my eyes is where's my let's pop this open. Let's open up one of these. Cha 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 cha. Let's bring that over here. Let's shrink this down again. Leave me alone. Um, all right, so let's try and present this on stream because I haven't been able to do it all week. Camera. Oop, that's not it. Edit destinations, present on stream. Yeah, screen sharing coming soon. Images, video sharing coming soon. Yeah, all right. So we still can't present on stream. Maybe by the end of the month. They should. I mean, does anybody know what they said when this thing will be up and running properly? I should have asked Ted. I really need coffee. More coffee. Do I need more coffee? I think I got to bed at like 2. I don't really need more coffee. Does any of us need more coffee? I remember when I quit coffee for like 4 years. I sort of regret getting back into it. Because when I didn't drink coffee, I really didn't drink milk and or sugar, right? And now I get all my sugar intake from coffee. God bless you. Uh, hello, Alexis C. Can do. I like it. So we're complaining about the stream. My biggest complaint I found out yesterday after rewatching the stream is the giant hearts that float across like it's Valentine's Day. It's crazy. And it's only hearts, right? So it would make more sense if it was emojis as well, right? But now it just looks like a Valentine's Day sort of thing. It really is bizarre. This, yeah, okay, closer. Like I didn't notice it here because it's not here on the stream. But as you go to the YouTube page, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's drop this here one more time. If you go to my YouTube page, oh, let's put that up a little higher. Um, or my Twitch page, either one of those, you'll see it, and it's like, I mean, I generally talk politics and social, but and then I talk about sadly the murders going on that day. Do you really want? Oh, it's a horrible story. There was a horrible fire. A whole bunch of nuns and orphans and puppies burnt up in the. I mean, what did the giant heart floating across the? It's just I don't under. You can't even. I don't. You can't make shit like this up. I'm sure they meant well, but somebody was sitting in that office going, "What about a heart? That's a good idea." It's on Facebook too. Yeah, I think it's on all social media. It's just, yeah, it's not awesome. It's just not awesome. Uh, but but you don't have emojis to like anything in the chat, which is weird to me, right? Emojis have been around for 20 years. Why are there no emojis? Uh, you managed to get an emoji up. Where you see, so you have emojis. I see. I can't click on what you just wrote and reply with anything but a quote. No emojis for me to give you. Right? That's all emojis, right? I don't think I did. Versus just putting an actual thumbs up or like sign there. Uh, so weird. It's so weird. I mean, but I mean, we don't want to hate. It's Sunday. We're trying to be spiritual and conversational. I probably shouldn't have worn all white thermal either. I should probably swap this out. Or I could just close the window. How about we do that? How about we dim this? Oh, good lord. Let's close that and dim this a bit. There you go. All right. Whew. That's slightly better. Now the glare is gone. All right. So let's get the mic going. So yeah. So some of the things I don't want to be too negative. I mean, I like that as you speak, the rim of the image lights up. It lets you know that you are broadcasting. Because I broadcast for like 20 minutes and a half an hour without sound on. Uh, and someone had in the chat had to say, "Hey, your sound is no bueno. It's not going." So I appreciate that. It's a nice visual, but I also would like to be able to make it not portrait horizontal. And the horizontal, I see what they did here. They had not pixel issues. What is it? What's the word I'm looking for? They had issues with their video. So now the video, I think, is more stable because no, I'm not. I'm about to pull stuff completely out of my butt because I don't know this field, right? This platforming stuff. But when the video on the other one was smaller, oh, is that what it is? I'm not on. TikTok and I haven't been on Instagram in forever. Ah, see, this is what happens, people. This is how you become old. You take your eyes off, and before you know it, the kids who were crawling are now driving sports cars and planning their weddings and shit like that. And you're like, wait, what just happened? And then you blink again, and all of a sudden, those kids have kids. Habs has a broadcast up. It's 45 minutes. They always they the last every time I guess it's easy to counter programming. They had I do 6:30 shows and they had a 6:30 update a couple of days ago. And now here they are at freaking 7 in the morning. So yeah, these streams used to be at 7:30 a.m. Now they're at 8. I moved it back half an hour. Um and we won't go till 12 because last week I actually worked and I missed I worked for like 5 hours on a Saturday. I think it was actually 6 hours, a little under a full day, and I missed all the games. I only got to watch one game, and I felt good about it because I love about to say baseball. I love football, uh, and the only if I'm I can't multitask, but that's not true. I can multitask shit that I like, but I can't watch a football game and clean this godforsaken house. This house needs cleaning. I will have to sit down and watch the game. Right? But if I'm in my car, I can listen to the game while I drive. It doesn't make any sense. I think it's a discipline issue, quite frankly. I mean, I could do it, but for some reason, I have to sit. And yeah, I don't know. It is what it is, right? We're all quirky in our own way. Uh, we all have to live with ourselves, so we shouldn't be too uh, hard on ourselves because at the eventually, I really, man, I got to tell you, I believe that how you feel about yourself and just and what you do for yourself, teach yourself guitar, teach yourself to cook, all that lubrication will fix you. Like it makes it harder. I think if you're to like have a stroke or get depressed or you know what I mean because there's a fair amount of vanity in it, right? You're learning this for yourself, right? But when you engage completely with the outside world too much, it will begin to mess with you on the inside of your head. They say the number 10,000 subscribers, but everyone that I spoke to think 10,000 is too high. They're waiting to have a minimum subscribers to broadcast, but there's an authorized list of current broadcasters that can be broadcast. They say 10,000 subscribers. Oh, they say 1,000 subscribers. But everyone think I spoke would think 10,000 is too high. Wait, I'm confused. What do I mean? This 1,000 is for the broadcast of ourselves, and what are they gonna do? Watch the broadcast with the creators. Yeah, but I'm streaming, and I can't pink them in. I guess I could open another window and watch them, but good lord, share stream. Ugh, I don't even know what to do here. All right, hold on. Yeah. Okay. Uh, all right. Yeah. I just think it's jarring. I think it's sort of like people learning how to drive, and then all of a sudden you bring in a new car and the steering wheel is on the right side and it's a stick and all that. And they're going, oh, no, you'll get used to it. And you're like, so yeah, now you got to fight to get used to how to drive a stick on the left side like you're British. And then, like, in 6 months or so, it'll be a motorcycle. And you're like, wait, what are you guys doing? Right? Your changes can't be brutal on your viewer base or your user base, is all I'm saying. And the giant hearts floating across the screen, I'm just kind of like, man, how am I going to talk politics with a giant heart floating across the screen? I mean, the last time I read stuff off of, let's move this over here. I read stuff off of my phone, which I do from time to time, no harm, no foulage. That's fine. Is this even streaming to other platforms? Okay, it is streaming. And yeah, they're the heart. Okay. It's just. Oh my God. That is just the wildest choice. It really is. Let's make sure this is muted. And they just float incessantly across the screen. Meanwhile, you have, I'm like, I need to move this camera so I'm always in frame. But meanwhile, you have total black on both sides. It's just that you can't utilize or get into, or, all right, all right. I mean, okay, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Let's just close this and let's bring this back over here and shrink it down because I've got some guitar videos open that I want to watch. Uh a lot of subscribers were lost to the transition. So they can't even get you back your subscribers. Oh, okay. But what if you broadcast alone, right? That's why I like the idea that you could use um not portrait mode. You could use good Lord, it shot right out of my head. It's portrait mode, which is what we're in, and then it's well, you know what I'm talking about. And they're not gonna be able to get you back to streamers that found you and liked you. Yeah, this is not good, man. I've been following a lot of past few days. Wow. So what do you think about it? Do you think it's much ado about nothing, or do you? Because I'm trying not to be angry about it. That's a good way of looking at it. I just don't understand. I mean, other people have done it, so I don't understand why they don't do what works. Because, man, I had a streak going. I was really unhappy when my streak came to an end because you're sort of devastated. Yeah, I feel like I don't want to quit yet. I feel like I'm working on a relationship, but I'm like, ugh. But like I say all the time, I know my nature, right? I'm loyal, but I'm not stupid. Ooh. True was a cow ripped him of Yeah, there was no warning. They didn't do it overnight and update so you could like they did it. Yeah, like it was off in the afternoon when there was no warning or made changes. Middle of the day. Yeah, I think it came back on somewhere. I stream at 6:30 nightly. It came back on somewhere around 6:20, and it wouldn't let me in. I had to re-log in and wouldn't take my login. It it got like I got half in. It took my phone number, wouldn't take anything else. I was mad. I yelled at my man Biz about it. But the next day I was back. But 6 months, I wouldn't say down the toilet because, like I said, this whole thing started with me teaching myself guitar. And I'm still bad at it, but I couldn't even do scales when I first started. But the more I watch people play, man, you look at their fingers, all the history of it is in their fingers. They've got 30 years of just kind of like nimble, memorized stuff in their head that flows out of their fingers as easy as like you can write, because you've been doing that since you with a wee little boy or girl or whatever, right? So, well, that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, right? Might as well get good at something. Ugh. So, dang it, I want coffee. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go cut the hot water on and prep this cup. I Can I even put this here? No, because it's too low. All right. Can I put this here? Yes, but now it's out of frame. Yeah, see the portrait mode I'm not crazy about. I like the landscape mode is what they call it. I like the landscape mode because then now I don't know. What I really wanted to do was like stable up the video uh so you could play a game on it, right? That's perhaps that's where the people are, right? Online gaming, whether it's something like Call of Duty or cribbage with your girlfriend across the right. I mean, that's where you want to be. And if you're trying to make this a musical app to artists and people like that, it's got to be stable to paint for long terms, right? Sit and paint for like 3 hours if you want to, or write music or sing, all of those things. We're going to try to get a HAPS train broadcast. Save your broadcast at the end. You can upload it. What does that mean? I thought this is automatically uploaded, right? Live broadcast. What do you mean save your broadcast? Because they don't, oh, that's what's going on. They don't work nights and weekends? Wow. What is a train broadcast? Y'all, look, listen. Yeah, oh my God, y'all don't work nights and weekends? Oh my God. Ooh, that is just, look. So if I'm a hacker and I'm not, I can barely open my email, and I attacked you at night on a Friday, you got to get people together to come into the office to undo the damage I did versus troubleshoot it in real time. Can you access your servers from your laptop in your living room? That's not good. Oh my God. I hope that's not true. They don't work nights and weekends. That's crazy. Tell you brother, and you can upload. It will upload without the hearts. Oh, I see what you're saying. I never did notice that they aren't on weekends. So you're saying save it, and then there are live broadcasts, and then there are premieres, right? So save it, and when you show it, it becomes a premiere. That means it's not live, but it's the first time it airs. And then it won't show with the heart. that is that is crazy. All right, I'm gonna throw on some water. I'm gonna be back in like try and give me 40 seconds, if that. Oh my gosh. All right, that that's prepped. Oh, excuse me. Now I want a little more light in here. How about we do that? Oh my gosh, they don't work weekends. All right, so while that goes, let's run through the new what. What is this? It was yesterday. All right. Let's run through some news of the week. COVID is surging in Europe. Experts say it's a warning for the US. We don't talk COVID on this program, but they keep saying we've got it and then it comes back. Then, I don't want to say let it run its course. That just sounds ridiculous, but maybe you should put less faith in the political spin of this shit. Because I keep saying it's a fucking global pandemic. It's not just in your small town or your state or 5 states away from me, right? It's every freaking place. Yeah. And the Black Death was around Europe for 5 years the first time, 8 the second time, right? Before people got a hold of it. People keep acting like they're going to cure it in a season. Remember when this thing started, they were like, "Oh, that we should be good by fall. Just do what we say. Oh, we should be good by spring. Just do what we say. Or we should be good by fall. Again, here we are at fall. Just do what we say." It doesn't. It doesn't. Ugh, it doesn't help me out. It doesn't make me feel help me out. It doesn't make me feel. It doesn't elicit any confidence in what they're doing. Um, it's like Ben Roethlisberger ruled out for Sunday's game. Why? Other than he's old. That's the hardest thing. Watch somebody forever and then knowing that these are you are at the end of your time doing this thing, right? You are over your prime, and don't get me wrong, he's still super fit and super healthy, right? But everyone else around you keeps getting younger, right? And you're playing not the best game of your career. Um, I'm in Seattle, coastal Georgia. Okay, so you're not far from me. Yeah, at a minimum 3 years for it to fade out. We're only in year two. Yeah, agreed. It's like I remember once the water just stopped. I remember once as a kid, there were 5 people in my house, right? I have 2 brothers, 2 sisters, and my parents. And one year, the flu uh, got into the house, right? And it was in the house for like 10 months because I think my father had it. And then my sister had it. Then she gave it to my mother. And then my sister gave it to my brother. And then I got it. Then I think I gave it to my sister. And she was a lot. But instead of having like a cold, like for 2 months, not 2 months, the flu. Good Lord, you had the flu for 2 months. Go see somebody. Normally, I get sick for like a week to 10 days. Generally, right? Most people get sick for like a week to 10 days. And as soon as they began to get rid of it, someone else got it, and it was another 10 days of people being laid up and sick and sneezing and coughing, and they'll get away from me and I need some Theraflu or whatever. And then they would get over, and then someone else would get it and be laid up, not go to work. Remember my mom not going to work and sleeping for like 5 days, right? After my dad had done it, and then my sister got sick, right? Then I got sick. So it was in a that thing took like it hit us one by one, and it was in the house for like 10 months. It really was. It was just freaking ridiculous. Uh, there was no shot for Spanish flu. Wow, really? Yeah. Well, how old were we when this happened? My parents must have been in their late 30s, early 40s, right? I was in junior high school. My little sister was in elementary school. My older sister hadn't gotten married yet, right? And my oldest brother didn't go off to the military yet. So yeah, it was a it was a thing. And my littlest brother was, I think, in the first, not even the first grade. He must have been in preschool or something like that. But this is back in the 70s when, like, man, and I'm telling you, when we all got sick, it was like 10 days and a week will go, then someone will get it, and it'd be 10 days and then a week will go. And we all get sick differently, which I noticed about that period when that happened. My dad didn't want to be bothered. He was a bear. He just slept and don't make no noise, right? My mom got sick, but she tried to make sure everybody else was fine, right? My sister got sick and got mean. My littlest sister just got sick and cried a lot, wanted to lay up under my mother. I got sick and enjoyed it. Not really enjoyed it, but I got to like stay home from school and watch Battle of the Planets, which was a cartoon show in the 80s that I used to love. Um, I don't know. And my littlest brother, yeah, I think he enjoyed it like I enjoyed it. But yeah, it was in the house forever. 14 people have moved on to like, yeah, that happens all the time. Let them go. Bye. The idea that we can't do whatever we want to you, so we'll leave. Yeah, let someone else have them. Look, you just got rid of 14 bad apples, if that's the way you want to look at it. Yeah, but here's the problem: Florida's going to be underwater in 15 years. So, yeah, but hey, look at me. I'm talking shit. I'm in Virginia Beach, coastal Virginia Beach. This place is also going to be underwater. It's one of the things because we have a giant military base here, and now the military, while they're not telling you about, they're like, "What the hell are we going to do about a giant military base? This strategic location is going to be underwater. It's not a submarine port. It's still a port. Don't get me wrong. We have, yeah, there's a few, right? Because we face the Atlantic Ocean. So there's one up in Maine. I want to say Boston, Maine area, Connecticut. I think shipyard might be it. They're all down this coast. I don't think there's very many in the Florida, uh, um, not Florida, the Louisiana, Texas, New Mexico kind of rim in that bowl. But on the out coast, facing the Pacific, you have a bunch of San Diego's is a giant one too, right? So, I mean, yeah, Groton, Connecticut subbase. Yeah. So we're still gonna have to defend the place even as the waters rise. Apparently, the people in Scotland can't. I didn't even hear what they came up with, but it was well, it was a blurb of the news when I was driving around yesterday. And today's the last day for the Scottish. What is I forget what it's called, this global summit, the CCAP or some Cap 2 or whatever. And I was just kind of like, oh, these guys are going to come out. They're going to take pictures, shake each other's hand, applaud themselves. They're going to pat themselves on the back. Then they're going to get into their giant airplane with their and all go their separate ways, and nothing's going to get done. And then they're going to show up wherever they're from, talking that same what we used to call gank back in the day, talking that gank to you like it's all righteous. Uh, yeah, they have no plan for what's going on here. That water's gonna get cold. All right, I'm gonna go back in there. I'm gonna turn the water on one more time, and I'm coming right back. And the next time it whistles, we're gonna make this coffee. I'm toying around with the idea of it's a hot tea kettle, put it in here with a cup of coffee, but then I'd have to buy. Nah, I would just have to walk in there once and pick up a the milk. Look, I would tell them this is what let's talk about this app for a second. If I was to fix this app, I would tell them get rid of the hearts, bring back emojis so I could comment likes and subscribes on people in the chat. Bring back the emojis. Bring back the timer that we can't see here that lets us know, you know, because now it's like that big. I almost have to like bring that back. Bring back portrait mode is fine, but you should still be able to choose between landscape if you want to bring that back. So some of the things about the old app was good. Um, some of the new stuff is good too. I like the lighting around it, but there seems to be more shagaginess and agita with the app than prime functionality and awesomeness. And yeah, you can't blame your user base. They've gotten used to a certain standard of what streaming is, right? Good lord, my eyes are a mess. Oh, you know what it is? It's late nights. It's all the drinking. It's marijuana. I wish I was a carouser, just run around with women and drink. What happened to that? Oh, did you hear what Bill Maher said about? So Bill Maher had a rant essentially about men in their mother's basement. People aren't having sex. Why don't you put down the games and go talk to a girl? First of all, Bill Maher isn't married to anybody. He hasn't been loyal to any woman, right? And when he was young and rich, he hung out at the Playboy Mansion, right? I would consider that. I mean, considering what went on there, right? Organized usury of women and women selling themselves, right? I'm not even talking about sex. I'm not talking about nudity or any of that. But I'm talking about just like the rock stars started going to these European fashion festivals and then marrying models, it became a thing, right? This is this is more of the bullshit of the people who did the thing, and that is telling you that there's something wrong with you. Because look, sex is great. Uh, I think sex is great. My opinion is great sex is fantastic. Woo, wonderful. But not with everybody in your town. You know what I mean? I mean, and this is I think the life the Hollywood people live, right? These random women, look at me, I live in a giant house, blah, blah, blah. I'm 55 and my girlfriend is 23. All that weird energy that plays in that town does not play in your town or my town. So then he, from that town, he hasn't been one of us since he left New York to do stand-up, right? He didn't start doing stand-up for social justice or for you and I. He did it for himself, right? Like all these politicians who go to college and run for office talking about you. They didn't do any of that for you. They did it for themselves and they're running for office for themselves. So keep your eyes open. So for him taking shots at like the average dude who's not married or dating, I thought there's other reasons that people aren't having sex, right? A lot of shit has been undermined, right? A lot of trust is not there, right? A lot of sex can lead to not just unwanted children, right? Sometimes a one night stand should be a one night stand. It shouldn't be a 20-year commitment to you or anybody. So now you as a guy have to look at some of this stuff, right? You um as a mom or a dad has to tell your sons, look, this was the real lay of the land. I hate to say it, it wasn't like this when I was a kid, but right. Um so yeah, maybe college, maybe this, stay away from. And when you say stay away from women, it's different than when it's stay away from women in the 60s and 70s, right? Um, And some people just see it and go, the landscape is dismal. I don't want to take any part. And I'd rather do this, play video games or do whatever. And don't blame video games. Blame video games for violence and right. Say it's always blaming something, right? Whether you blame the music or the movies. This is why I always say Hollywood never had the problem with guns. They really don't, even after that Baldwin shooting. Because while you're sitting here talking about Sandy Hook and all these places, every movie they make has a shit ton of guns and bullets firing. People don't like your TV shows, your movies. Hollywood is not going to come out against guns, right? Just like they didn't come out against uh, women treated inappropriately, since all the cute girls from all towns all over America and some from outside the country get on a boat, bus, or plane to arrive there. And not all of them have like the same moral standards. Some will fuck you. Excuse my language. And I can't blame them because some of them have done that and now live in $1 million mansions in the hills, right? It's better than fucking a loser for free. You might as well fuck one that can make you a movie star. Having said that, when this whole Me Too thing and everybody started flipping out in Hollywood, I was like, "Ooh, you shouldn't harass women." But man, that is the weirdest place to have a Me Too because everybody has known what goes on there for 80 years. Again, the shit that plays in that town does not play in your small town, right? And it's really an indictment of that place, the business people in that place, the managers of that place, as well as the cops who don't investigate wealthy people. A lot of people think that Robert Wagner, a lot of people think that killed Natalie Wood on that boat that Christopher Walken was on. You know, a lot of people 80 years later know that William Randolph Hearst, uh, I want to say, shot a reporter on another boat, and that was sort of covered up. And that's 80 years later after all the participants are dead. So there's a whole lot of weird crap going on here that you should take with a grain of salt. Yeah, some don't want commitment. I don't know if a lot don't want commitment. I think the problem from a guy's standpoint, and I hate to say this, but the guys have to do the asking, right? You can't show up and go, "Hey, you're my boyfriend." The guy go, "Okay." Uh, I think the problem is the just explosion of, out of wedlock kids, right? Uh, and yet some people don't want to be in this boat, and I blame women. I do. You can't have all this agency and then say it's not your fault, right? There's no way. Well, imagine you dating somebody. Go, tell me your cycle. I want to know your cycle so I can write this down whenever we get. You be like, what? How dare you, right? So now all of a sudden, hey, we've been dating for 3 weeks and I'm pregnant. You're like, what the what? So it's a lot of this kind of like, I like her. And it went from I don't trust her to now I don't trust them all. And that's the problem, right? You can go, yeah, you should be able to make a judgment about a person, but now you're paranoid about the whole gender. And I think it's part of the gender wars kind of thing. I said the example of, look, I meet you, I take it seriously. I really, yeah, protection, but protection doesn't always work, right? And sometimes, you know, you're dating people, and you go, "Oh, we don't have to use a condom this time." Take a word for it, boom, kids, right? Um, and that even that is an acknowledgement of me trusting you, right? Okay, well, she said this. But don't get me wrong. It depends. I think look, sometimes you get caught out there. But I think getting caught out there was a big thing in the 50s, right? People had to go live with their aunt in another state and come back like 10 months later with their cousin. You know what I'm talking about? Versus now, it's just kind of like I think the system wants this because there's a lot of money in this. Um, I essentially chain you to this person. I've always said, you know what, the parent thing should be like for the first like year and a half, give you a little chance to think about it. You should be able to go, "Hello, Kristen." You should be able to go, on the birth certificate, "I acknowledge being the father. I want no part of this thing." I think that will drop this whole thing to, because I think the first thing people go is, "You're a lawyer," and I know of a woman whose brother was a doctor, got like a bartender's pregnant, and I'm pretty sure that was on purpose. He's a doctor, and it's that kind of thing. You've monetized this behavior, and it'll be lucrative for you depending on who the person is, uh, for at least 20 years. And that's the problem. And I think guys are just kind of like, I want to ask her out, but man, you know what? At first, plus, you get your heart broken, and then you internalize that with all this stuff, right? You wrongfully, I think, connect, oh, my heart breaking, it's all those women and fuck them all. And, you know, I think there's a lot of people who should have had kids. Um, and I also think that, you know, the narrative is that these fathers don't want these kids, right? And the narrative is also women have prime influence. Um, so all these things sort of stay your hand in the dating community. And like I said, if I took a shot with you and it didn't work out, and we had a kid. Oh, I can't, I can't make myself stay around because then there's conflict, then there's lawyers, then there's judges. So I just best remove myself, right? And then you can tell this kid anything about this person. And I think it's been going on for 30 years. So it's always the men are the problem, right? Look at this pandemic. When this whole thing started, how many single mothers were over a barrel? And I thought to myself, this is the kind of shit that shouldn't happen, right? If you're over a barrel, you and your partnership are like, how are we going to feed these kids? Oh my God, woman, hold on, no, you keep your job. I'm going to get a second and a third job, and we're going to and then like 10 years later, 15 years, like, girl, we got to do that. That was a rough 3 years or 5 years or whatever it was. Now it's just kind of like I don't need anybody. I've got you hang out here. It's you're against the warrant that the judge said, and you're going to jail, and you better pay. And it's all this animus and the guy like. I'm not even gonna I'm just going to send her a fucking check. I don't want to see her. I'm going to try it over here. And then you try it over here. And then the same thing happens. Now you have two women to pay for and kids. And like you might have two houses. And a lot of people don't have houses now, but you're help paying for two apartments. Now your life is impacted. And then, so that's how many times you're going to fall for this trick, end up in this circumstance. And you might meet maybe the third girl's a charm, but now you've got all this sort of weight on you financial and beat that weight, and can I trust the weight? And I think that's where we are. And I think that's been going on for a while. That a lot of guys see it, see the divorce in their family, raise they're like, I don't even want to be right. But it's a biological imperative not to be alone and to be with somebody. Marriage is a construct, right? So, but people will still be getting together. Don't get me twisted. It's not like the population is going to die out. That's not how people work. But the system that you want people to follow has been thoroughly subverted. Yeah, I think you're right. It's a lot more longer than 20 years. And I think how you going to get faith back in it? The idea that 40% of marriages stay together is ridiculous. That 60% fail. Why would you go into that? Um, I talk fondly about my mom and my dad and my brothers and my sisters. I'm sad it didn't pay off for me, but I'm the one that it didn't pay off for. Right? My brother's long term, my younger brother long term married, my older sister long term married, my younger sister's long term married. My older brother was long term married, right? Not anymore. But it is what it is. We all have our different tolerances and beliefs in love and marriage, right? But we all have to play them out on the same landscape. And I don't want to be dragged into court. I don't mind being dragged into court. I can't pay for a lawyer. That's another expense, right? But I don't want to be torn away from my kids after having a dad and a granddad, and and it happens. And I think people are just really, what's the word I'm looking for? Some people are just emotionally immature and ridiculous, and they do things that doesn't make any sense. And I think had they waited and got a little more experience in life or whatever, you probably could have made better choices. You know what I mean? I mean, don't get it wrong. I'm never blaming the children. Never blame the children. Whenever I see goofy shit, I'm like, who raised that person? Right? Especially men who hate women in an environment where all the men are raised by women. I'm like, what kind of son did you raise who hates women? Right? Who does that? My son's dad is on his fifth marriage. Thank God I wasn't one of the five. Wow, five marriages. That's just look, commit to one person. I get making a bad mistake in your youth and getting a divorce, but commit to the next person. Seriously, right? And that means that you picked wisely versus you just ran out and got married. Um, but I will also tell women, pick the guy carefully. It shouldn't be some random shit in a bar and then it's not his fault. Because at the end of the day, the ladies pick the men. I say it all the time. You can't hate on him if he's like his father. You picked his father. It is what it is. And I get a lot of women complaining about men. I'm like, but you picked him. What are you talking about? You picked him. There's a lot of women who aren't complaining about the men they picked. So this is inherently kind of on you. But I look at it weirdly. I get into trouble for the way I look at shit all the time. Yeah, nothing is private. And your kids represent you as they exit into the world. If you raise a son who hates women, I have to wonder what happened in your house. Right? If you raise a son who just stays on the sofa and you let him live there till he's 30, I wonder what kind of, all these things. Look, as a guy, you got to take your lumps. I would say as a person in the world, you got to take your lumps. I would just say as a guy, you got to take different lumps than the lumps of women have to take. I've never walked in a lady's shoes, but I wouldn't say that it's all cake and gravy. Um, so yeah, you got to take your lumps, and you can't keep blaming. And I think this society allows you to blame certain groups of people. You can't keep blaming all these dads and then complaining about the men who are in their 20s and 30s when you've been allowing a lot of goofy shit to go on for the last 30 and 40 years, right? You ignore look, you want people to read more and be politically engaged. What are you doing for them to be read more and be politically engaged when they're 7, 8, 9, and 10, right? How are you trying to make this a lifelong habit? You're not. All of a sudden they're old enough to vote, and then you got all this criticism of the kind of men or women that they are. Right. And then there's also just the not the ebb and flow of time, but the shifting of social, right? So if you're standing, what do I have? What do I have? What do I have? I have this pen. If you're both standing here, oh, excellent, both the same color. This is the kid, this is the parent. So you both start in the same place. Mind you, the parent came here from a different era, right? So if you start here, as time goes on, you in your 30s, and your kid is 10, and then you're in your 50s and your kid is 20. The music you like is going to be different. Your politics is slightly going to be different. By the time you're 80 and your kid is 50, and your kid is now dealing with, do I have anything else yellow in here? Orange? Yeah, we go with this. Your kid is now dealing with their kid who likes, and this is happening in our society. Um, I don't like any black people to I don't mind black people. I just don't want them to marry into my family, right? To or live next door to me. I dropped the last one. I don't care if they marry or live next door to me. I don't like the music, right? It gets more, and that's all things, right? I mean, it's still around because racism is lucrative, quite frankly. It's worth a lot of money. So they keep it around. You don't have to pay people and you can, but that's everything, right? It's with sex. How dare you, you harlot, you running around with all these men. Um, what you a painted lady of the evening or something, to now where it's like I'm dating 4 or 5 guys and I kind of like this one, I sort of don't like that one. I got to make up my mind sooner or later, ain't that right? And you tell this not just to your girlfriends, you tell it to your close homies soon. They're like, well, I like Bob better than Jim, right? Who knows where your kids are going to be? I mean, I'm already not a polygamist. I'm already a pluralist, right? I think you can love more than one person. My whole thing is just don't be running around with everybody, and that's what I think everybody wants to do. Or I met you at a bar tonight. Let's go fuck in the bathroom. I'm like, that's just vile, right? If you want to have all the crazy sex and it's you and 2 other people in your relationship, that's on y'all. I hope you're healthy and spry for it. Drink a lot of water. But that's your little pod, your little cell, and I get it. And I don't have to be for it. However, I think there's also like a limit of like that kind of thing. There's 19 of us living in this house. I just think it's a cult and ridiculous. But I do believe that you can love more than one person. And I don't see what, and people like to have apparently, so that at least makes it honest. No one's cheating on each other. But it's still the same standard, right? Choose the people you like and treat them well, whether it's this one lady that I love and I'm marrying, we're gonna have kids, or I'm married to these 2 men and we have kids and we live here. People have lived for 40 years without getting married, and then we're disrespecting when one of them passed away because they weren't married, right? Now you have all these, yeah. So our system has been thoroughly hacked, I would say, to drive money to divorce attorneys, and when you're sad about the upbringing you had, instead of dealing with it, they want to pop you pills. So if I'm gonna keep my pill popping, come back for this Zoloft or this, it's not about to say Benadryl, whatever the other ones are, to keep you on something. Just like I want to keep people, they want to keep people in therapy forever. Right now, nobody goes to therapy anymore, and the therapists are like, "Oh, you all need therapy. The 3 times a week, get back here for $40 an hour. Where y'all going?" People are doing other shit now, and now it's pills. Ask the Sackler family. Oh my God, those guys were. It is my opinion that they were selling drugs, and they were a legitimized drug selling operation. Shame on them. So another bug is in the new apps is we see other comments from other broadcasters. Wait, so you'll see other comments from other broadcasters in someone else's stream? Nothing is private. That's crazy. I did like a space girl and create another account to try to get into mine. I'm waiting for Peter to hopefully retrieve my Snow Bunny account. But please follow this one until. Oh yeah, okay, absolutely. What? Okay, so let's subscribe to user. So you can't find your account, harlot. That's an old term. Yeah, what is it? Painted one, painted woman is painted lady. Painted lady is also like a lady of the evening, like these antiquated home wrecker. Like, but that was another one, right? Just watch Jerry Springer. And that is crazy. At least know who the baby's that. This is genealogy, people. It's sort of important, in the sense that some things run in people's families. So you might want to know if something runs in your family. I know what runs in my family. If you're allowing someone into your marriage and there is no commitment, it's basically saying your love alone isn't enough. I believe marriage is between 2 people, not multiple. Yes, on comments from other accounts. Wow. Um, yeah, but see, I mean, I agree. That's the majority way that people view it. But I would I could, like I've always said, I don't. I used to believe in true love when I was young. I don't believe it anymore. I believe that you can love more than one person, and you can, and love, it can be like loyalty and respect can mimic love, right? Um, and some people have a bigger sexual appetite than others. It may not be for you or me, but and that brings up the same questions, right? So let's say there's three of you in a clutch, and you have some kids and shit. One person can still go off and cheat. That then it now affects way more people. But the same old things are the same old things in a human animal, right? People will always lie. You won't ever wipe that out. People will always sadly cheat because there are multiple reasons for cheating, right? It's not just sex. Sometimes, um, people, you won't ever be able to stop people from being angry or fighting or sadly killing each other. Um, I just think those are ingrained in the animal, and they trigger weirdly, right? Um, yeah. So, but hey, I live here with all these supermodels, and then but yeah, we all had some of us have different tolerances, right? So some people might like um to be social but not like to be intimate. Some people might like nothing but intimacy and not to be social. Find who you dig. It might be a rare thing. Then you might find two exact opposites and you all dig each other. Who's to say that that's criminal and a crime? And I would rather you all get in the clutch and have a decent relationship than all the violence and hatred I'm seeing. Right? There's a lot of hatred from loyal, devoted, married people. And they raise hot messes. But who knows, man? I just think the society is shifting. So when the society shift, you may have to shift as well. If society is shifting, why we holding on to old terminologies, like I just said, like painted lady or lady of the evening or any of this. And the way sex is now, people shoot sex on OnlyFans. I don't think anybody cares, right? I think the ebb of religion is part of it. It's part of it, but I don't think that's the only thing. I just think, you know, people have had their day. Jack Lemmon in Under the Yum Yum Tree. I know this movie. What is this movie? And sex? No, sex isn't love. No, it's great to have sex with someone you love, right? That's great. But sex isn't love. I mean, prostitutes do it every day for money, right? Just like fighting isn't hate. Boxers do it every day for money. I didn't go back to the last person I dated 8 years ago. He had to grow up. I did go back to the last person. Well, that shows that there was some connection there. That's good, right? He had to grow. Wait, why did he have to grow up? Right? Um, Under the Yum Yum Tree. Let's look this up. Cause if this isn't the one where he had a hotel and he gave his all his bosses the key so they could philander with what was her name? She was a hottie. What is her name? Okay, Jack Lemmon, Dean Jones, Carol Lindley, Edie Adams, Imogene Coca, Paul Lynn, Robert Lansing. All right, Under the Yum Yum Tree is a 1950 American sex comedy. Ooh, 1950s, like this, the rise of the sex comedy. Mind you, 20 years earlier, they undid Mae West for her risky sort of innuendos about coming on up and you know curling her toes, right? Um, it was just not to be done. And, the Catholic League and everybody's you had better, and that's what people don't like anymore. I know. Look, if you don't want to do it, fine. But you know, if I want to, I don't know. I don't even have an example. If I want to, I was gonna say date interracially in the 50s, right? But now no one cares. When they used to burn your house down and kill you, right? But this is just a sex of it. No, not Carol Lindley. Who was in the movie? Bill Bixby, Mr. McGee. Don't make me angry. What is her name? It's not O'Toole. It's not O'Connor. She's got a. I think she's. I think she's. Oh my God, what is his name? He was a heartthrob. He dated Madonna. He was in not Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kids. He was in good lord. I just realized three things. All of a sudden, I remembered that low battery. I remembered that I still haven't gotten my coffee. Um, shoot. uh, and I'm forgetting celebrities' names. Like, God dang it. Wayne. It's not Wayne. It begins with a W. He was in Hairspray. Warren Beatty, right? His sister is who's Warren Beatty's sister? She was a straight what we in the business of looking at pretty ladies call a straight smoke show. Sorry, ladies. Here's another thing. As long as you keep your mouth shut and don't say anything, you can notice a pretty lady. And that's also a thing that you can't do anymore. Uh, Warren Beatty. Shirley MacLaine. Thank you. So Shirley MacLaine, back in the day, was just, a straight smoke show. She straight absolutely was. She had this and she was a really, really good actress too. What do we got in the chat? Now that I'm commenting on famously. Uh let's check the chat. And then there's all these numbers that come after you type. Alexis can do 2MHZ. Like it's giving up your code. I don't know if they should be doing that. I did like the Space Girl and the Creative another account trying to get my all right. Harlot's over to crime. We went through this. If you're lying with someone in your marriage, right? Yes, from other comments is weird. Yes, true. All the DDK viewers' comments are in here. Can you not see them all? No. What is a DDK? I don't see DDK comments, just see the other one, but don't know where. It took me 100 guys to find my true love. Yeah, sometimes you have to dig. Not everybody gets it right out the park. My aunt met her husband on the first day of school, and everybody thought it was so cute that they were. And by the time they were like 12 and 13 going up, people were like, "Do you think they're gonna get?" And by the time they were like 18, 19, everybody knew they were gonna get married. Is that kind of weird, kind of like thing? But sometimes you have to dig a little bit, right? Especially if you're in empty places where there aren't any people, or giant cities where there are too many people, right? 100 guys. Don't go searching because it won't find it way. It comes when you least suspect it. I don't know. I think you can go searching and find it too. I just think it happens in all sorts of weird ways. Uh Sex isn't love, that's true. He lived with the models. Uh Tony Smith, he was married young, wife died. He had to raise three kids. When their kids were settled, he started dating. Who's this? He was married. Oh, okay. I see what you said. Oh, okay. So you're saying after 8 years, guys don't mature like we do. No, it's just a different type of maturity. Is that your current relationship? Touch top of the screen to see if other comments go away. It's great to see you happy and smiling. Shirley MacLaine. Yeah, thank you, William. It was Shirley MacLaine. Um, it is the first relationship I'm in 8 years I told below was it is the first relationship I'm in 8 years. I told him before you was you. Before you was you. Okay. That right there is like a romance novel on like the Hallmark Channel. It's like you complete me. Like the last person I loved was you, and that ends the movie. Everybody hugs and I'm over here like, don't tell the homies I'm watching the Hallmark Channel, man. Ugh. Maybe it shows up the comment from the last viewers. Yeah, Term of Endearment is a pretty good movie. Um, that's not it. That's not it either. Like my count hasn't changed since I started. It's still 13. I wonder if it's actually 13 people watching. Um, and you can't. Then you click on it, and it goes away. Now it says 0. Okay. You don't even know how many people are watching. This whole reconfiguration is a mess. Ugh, this is hope right here. I still have my running schedule in my phone. 9 o'clock on a Sunday, I'd be running. Like so, right? So I used to do these things called 1,000 day devotionals, and I would run every day 3 miles. I mean, anybody can run 3 miles a day. It's not an issue, right? But the whole point was that you do it for 1,000 days. Um, versus going to church because I was like, a lot of these people are just full of crap and they're just conning me. Did I just turn the water on and not use it again? Oh my God! I've been trying to make a cup of coffee for like a half an hour. All right, hold on. One more time with the coffee. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. All right, so now the water is boiling again. I can hear it. Oh, sweet Jesus. I should open the window. What is the temperature outside? Come on, crazy person. Where I was about to say, you just had it. Where's my phone? What is the temperature outside? It's 46 degrees outside. That's not bueno. It was freezing last night. Luckily, me and the supermodels started what are those things? Fireplace. I grew up with a fireplace. We never used it. Every Christmas, I always wondered why don't we use it? Because we would watch the burning Yule log on TV. But I was like, there's a fireplace, Dad. Had the pokers and all the stuff. Queens, New York, but not trying to buy wood and fireplaces and all this stuff. I guess I get it. Um, you hear the story of how we reconnected. If it wasn't for my viewers, I wouldn't have taken the chance. The odd numbers when someone replies back to not have that put at and type the person's handle name. I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of earth. All right, that's the water. I'll be right back. All right, we are in this thing. All right. Whew. Now we have coffee. Do we? Are we gonna? We're gonna open the window. See how long we can stand the cold degrees it is. Um, has better sign. This is the numbers. Nope, that didn't work. They probably took care of the numbers issue. What numbers? Because I have in my chat, like Kristen Kelly, it says at Alexis C underscore can do. There's brackets, then there's a parentheses 2 MZH 1Q1 capitals, right? 1Q1. Then it's capital J, minor Q, right? So, but it goes on for like 20 letters. Then there's your comment, Darbs, Tony Smith. Hey, are all in the DDKS. Tony Smith, they are on the. I don't know what the DDKS is. What is DDKS? Maybe if I click mentions, does that work? Awards. Yeah, that's none of this. Invitations. There's no. Mm, and then there's all activity. Yeah, I think DDKS is a broadcaster. Oh, he's a person. Oh, he's a DJ in Australia. Why are we talking about DDKS then? I thought he was a an app. I guess it doesn't matter. Um, Give me a second. I hate to leave again. I think I have to pee. Whew. All right. So thank you for your patience and your patronage uh, for these hard times. Um, he's a broadcast energy. I can see his comments. I can see his commenters in yours. Really? I wonder if I went to another. We are talking about him as Chris and seeing comments from his broadcast. Oh, so that's the tie. So you went to his broadcast, then you came to my broadcast, and somehow they're connected to you and they carried over. Huh. Let's see. Let's put this on shrink. Let's get the other, and let's click on this. Yeah, let's look at this. So let's make this sure this is muted. And let's see what. All right, so that's this. No comments on my YouTubery. All right, fine. Let's go over here to Twitch. No comments on my Twitchery. All right. Now let's see if we can go to the app and see if I can view me. Let's see what we got. Um, Profile. Chickadee, 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 chickadee. All right, so I guess this is my stream, but it doesn't have any. It doesn't have any comment. How do you access the comments? Wow, these guys, man. Where would the comments even be during the stream? I wonder if I joined my stream, what would happen? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna click on it and see if I break the world. Okay, so I actually didn't join my stream so much as I started a second stream. Ugh, I don't even know. I don't even know. It's telling me, it doesn't tell me in the stream, but it tells me I have 5 viewers. But that it should tell me I have 5 viewers here, and it doesn't. I'm assuming that it will. All right, I'm just gonna take it on good faith that some of this is gonna it's gonna work itself out. I would still like a volume bar so I know exactly how loud, not just if I'm. Maybe I'm asking too much. Maybe Santa coming, and I've been a good boy this year. I'm telling you, and I'm always getting robbed, Santa. So if you come through, you're better. You know what? I don't want to get cold in my sock. I'm just saying, instead of getting me anything you have left over, you could kind of focus on what I want. And what I want is this app to not be ridiculous. How's that for Christmas? Mm. Is there anything nicer than coffee? Well, there's a lot of things nicer than coffee. But coffee is one of the nice things. Let's be clear. Current broadcasts are getting 10% of their viewers. um, yeah, if you're going to work this hard to get an audience and they undo it with an app, I can see why people would lose their shit. Remember, good Lord, Ecuadorian prison violence. Remember, women stages apartments to look like boyfriends lives there when men visit. Woman stages her apartment to look like she has a boyfriend when men visit. Couple of questions. How often do men visit that you have to do this? Right? Second question is what men don't do shit if they see another guy's jacket in a place? There'd be a lot more alive women if that was a fucking thing. Ah, boba tea is great. Buy 2 cups of coffee in the morning does my soul good. Yeah, I quit because I used to do a pot of coffee like a day. Like and then I would have coffee at night when I gamed, and I was like, I'm doing too much caffeine and I need to slow down. And then it took me like 3 months to get off coffee. I was miserable for like 3 weeks. Um, yeah, I can see why you would do this and do it on Twitch, which is a stable platform. I was telling my homie, like and Ted, my first thing was to prove that I could do it right in 2 stages. I could do it every day. I could be here every the time I said I was going to be here. I would be here. Um, and that I could talk on all these topics that I knew. I wasn't just crazy and eclectic, and I was sort of erudite and verbal. Right? Let's get that part of me going, and let's see if I'm right. The stuff that I say, maybe people it'll draw a crowd, and people will go, "You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about." Uh, which is just as legitimate as me drawing a crowd and everybody going, "Oh my God, you hit it right in the head. You are like we said, you know, good Lord, man, calm down. Your screen time was down 4% last week for an average of an hour and 40 minutes a day on screen. That's pretty good. Most people will have like check it out. All right. Um. So yeah. So just to see that I could do it every day, which I think I did. We streamed every day for 6 months until the Haps apocalypse. The Haps apocalypse, which happened on Veterans Day, the 10th of November. It will live in our hearts forever, in infamy. They Haps should hire me, for God's sakes. Bad at your gig. Everybody's about to go to Twitch. Fix your shit, Haps. Um, but I'm a loyalist. I wanna be like, oh, I was one of the well, maybe not one of the first, but you know, in 1,000 days, and I did it. Thank you, Haps. But nope, completely undone. Who updates in the afternoon? It sounds like somebody was going to go away for the weekend, so they just did it early. I wonder what the internal numbers look like. Like, I don't know how many people are on Haps, but if Haps had 1 million people doing it every day, and then they did this, I wonder what the reverb was because I could not get in. You know, and then they would give you these points. Oh, you've been here every day, you get 10 points. That now the point system is gone. But the weird thing about the point system is like 5 days ago they just reconfigured like the point system. Right? You went from 10,000 points to 1,000 points, and they said, but it still is the same money because they had the and I'm like, all right, well, as long as it's the same thing. I look, I think I made $160 in like $20, 20 cent and 50 cent increments. And I was just wondering, oh, I wonder how much that actually, not how much that is, it's $120. But like, if that's good, right? I mean, I always thought if you like me, give me $5, right? And I come at this because here it says coffee, but I was a bar guy for like 16 years. And if I had a good conversation with you, and the next round's on me, and that would cost me about $5. So I was essentially paying for your good company. And people would buy me rounds because I would tell jokes and we would talk sports. It's a nice way to just forget your troubles especially if you go to a good bar with a good group of people. It is sort of like being a teenager having a good after school program where you can drink at. Right? Don't want to be in a place where there are assholes and violent bullshit artists, but just people like we play darts, we talk shit, light politics, movies, hit on girls. Girls came to get hit on by guys, and yeah, that's a thing. Women would go there to be alone in a bar. Go get your ass to the library. What are you doing? Man, I can't believe I can't be left alone. This is a pickup place. Why are you here? You're the girl talking about leave me alone. I can't believe you're trying to have sex with me at the orgy. Why are you here? Some people don't make any sense to me. Um, Holistic Deb is going to Twitch. Yeah, yeah. And you can get more than 22 cents when you have a conversation. I didn't understand the money thing from the begin with. And I was thinking about I might crash this year out with 6 months on half, which is likely tomorrow, oddly enough. uh, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 6 months will be December 18th. But I was like, maybe I should just move this whole thing to Twitch January 1st. I like to start things on the first of the year, first of the month, whatever the first day of the month is, so I can track it like that. Or first of the week. I've been doing this for 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 10 weeks, right? So now that the new year is coming up, maybe I'll like 1,000 days on Twitch. I mean, if I loved you and was loyal to you, why would you treat me badly? Right. And that's what I feel like is going on here. Um, Maybe they didn't mean to muck with people, but I think they just mucked with a lot of people. And I got to tell you, we were talking about this before. I was reading through their terms of service, HAP's terms of service. HAPS is a restreamer. Please like and subscribe. Here are my numbers. Either one of those, Truist Armor on YouTube or my gaming channel on Twitch, Karma Armor. Please like and subscribe. Right. So even with what's that the porn company, not a porn company, but they OnlyFans, like when they did what they did, they undid it, right? They came up with a reason, well, we don't want to tank the people that we're here with because they, quite frankly, we may not agree or whatever, but they bring in revenue, and this is what our site has now become. We can still open it to other things that aren't sex. We can lock that behind. I mean, it is a paywall, right? um we can lock this over here, but you can have what Disney and cooking on OnlyFans too. They just, you know what it's like? It's like getting recipes from like Penthouse magazine, right? Now they sort of want to be Bon Appetit, but you're still Penthouse magazine. Um, I'm not saying you can't move or right, but you've got to. If you do it, it can't be a series of stutter stops and steps and starts. And it's usually somebody's good idea to how we can both of these can exist in one space, and then sort of marry them together. But I think at first they have to look like they're not the same thing, because yeah, you can't have Sesame Street content right next to you know girls sitting on whatever they're going to be sitting on. Um, and I think we all agree that that's a good thing, right? Don't we? I was getting 200, 500 live viewers, but the past 3 days it's been 28 and 48. More than half were on other platforms. What? I think we were averaging about 100 people a night. On good nights, I just topped 500 on the view, like I want to say a week ago, 10 days ago. But weeknights, I think we'd get about 40, 50 people nightly. and Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays, we would get about 100 people. Now I look, I think we're streaming to 5, it said. So yeah, I think they look. Here's how can I phrase this? I just think they undid themselves. They want more music and art here, less topics that affect us all. Oh, really? Well, yeah, maybe I should leave soon then. At least on Twitch, you can do all of it. You can game, you can talk politics, right? Hassan Piker only does politics. He's got 21,000 viewers nightly, right? Other people play video games or music, and they have 5 or 10,000 nightly. I mean, between me, you, and the wallpaper, I'm on Haps because my man Ted was like, "Yeah, give this new ship platform a shot." Uh, God dang it! So it is what it is, right? Nope. I mean, sometimes things end. You shouldn't hate on it. I loved your Haps, but it didn't work out, kind of thing. I'll think of you fondly as I move forward with my new girlfriend or boyfriend, Twitch, whatever your predilection is. Um, but I viewed it as a restreamer versus as a platform itself, and I guess it wants to be a platform in and of itself. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I think I owe you some money, True. I have other comments in here. So you have other comments in your chat. Made the above comment and your chat comments came back. Yeah, and yeah, I'm not crazy about there's not a ticking clock that tells me how long we've been streaming. Um, this whole thing is just weird. But I did resolve. I'm still gonna keep Lucy with the title, but now that I'm not doing it every day, I can take a day off at a week or every other week. But I'll likely slide over to Twitch too. Quite frankly, I hate to be the one to say it. Uh, and then I just put my Twitch content and drop it on my YouTube versus streaming to all things. Am I cold? I think I'm cold. Um, huh, I don't know. All right, do we have anything else? Are we gonna end the stream? I think we're gonna end the stream. Uh, normally this stream would go to 11:30. Now we're ending the stream. We did do an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 20 minutes, right? We got here. I won't say a little late. We got here at around about a quarter to 8. But now it's 9:30, so we sort of oops, excuse me. We sort of done that, and I'm hungry. I'm bad at pancakes. I was thinking about doing a pancake stream, how watch me fuck up pancakes, quite frankly. But I don't think I'm doing that today. I think I'm just gonna go to IHOP and get some pancakes. Uh I used to love like yeah, my thing about the ladies I dated is if they made me pancakes, I'd do anything for them. Yeah, yeah, I know pancakes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women, trees and bushes, spoons and forks, sun and moon, and stars and skies. We are off to the next one. The next one is tomorrow at 6:30. Come on through, get a little loving. I'll be here. Thanks everyone. Thanks for the updates on this channel. Thank Kristen. I've resubscribed to you. Uh, thanks. Let me subscribe to user. Subscribe to you. I will see you in the next one. We stream every day, mostly, when we can. And I'll see you in the next one. And the next one is tomorrow at 6:30. Come on through. Peace out, everyone. Have a good remainder of your Sunday. Peace.